right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention.
And welcome back to another episode of Toxic Masculinity. I am here with my co-host, the man of men, the guy that scares everyone else, the guy with the most unruly mustache, Don the Predator Frye, and yours truly here, Dan to be Severn. And we have a couple. We're here to entertain, offend, defend anybody and everyone. These are merely our opinions. So if we offend some people, well, put your man panties on, because the title said it all in Toxic Masculinity. And our two special guests this evening, we have Mr. Todd Standing and Mr. Kevin Gilligan. And we're going to be talking about the topic of Sasquatch. You heard it right there, folks. Sasquatch.
You know what would be interesting? Dan, the EEG we were talking about?
Yeah.
The diagnostic? Doing a baseline and then going out on an expedition and coming back and taking a post test.
To see the changes. Yeah.
Would you be into that, Todd?
Oh, that's an excellent idea. I love the science.
Good.
Science is my foundation.
There you go.
That'd be amazing.
I think you'd see a bigger difference is if you took one of these, city slickers. Okay, you take one of these city slickers, and now they spend a week out in the wild like that, and then you do a brain scan on them again. I think you'd see a greater significance in it than they would off of Todd or off of yourself, because Todd's been out there so many times on these different expeditions, and you from a law enforcement background, I think you got kind of a different mindset there already there, Kevin, as well. So I would think that if you brought one of these newbies, especially someone that's more of a city slicker, that will be pulling out all the latest, newest camping gear, price tags on them still probably. And
Todd, I think you're onto something on the health and wellness side. And I don't think you're reinventing the wheel, but as far as bringing nature back to people. But I really do believe, the data for this, like we're saying on an EEG, would be really fascinating to see blood flow patterns to the brain and what's going on in regards to voltage in the brain, stuff like that. Fascinating stuff. Yeah.
I know that they did that with people walking around. What's it called? Grounding, where you walk around barefoot on the earth, and they did those brain scans, and tremendous results. Like, really, your body is designed to walk around in nature. Surprise.
Right.
To connect with nature, to eat good, healthy, natural foods, no chemicals and pesticides. And that's another thing too, is I feed people, organic, really healthy, good, natural food, as best I can. And it's part of the cleansing process out there. And it makes such a big difference. And in a discovery of this magnitude that is this hard, it's very challenging. It's a challenge within yourself too, more than anything, to grow and to because the Sasquatch are so intelligent and complicated. As a student, I'm always trying to figure out what's that next lesson, because they're always trying to communicate something to me, and it's so hard for me to understand it because I'm so ignorant. I'm so domesticated, and it's really one of the most challenging things I could ever think to do for anybody, is to really get inside yourself and force that inner growth and look at yourself in new ways, to be transparent. And from that, I'm so grateful for them to be, like that. Because even too, again, I'm talking about, so my children were taken away from me for 3 years. I was accused of everything under the sun, and you're guilty of everything till proven innocent. I have my children now. But when I was doing Sasquatch expeditions, literally when I would go out there, and I was upset, man. I was like, just tore my heart out, take my children away. They're everything to me. And I'd go out there.
You have all this negative aura about you.
Yeah.
Negative energy, negative aura.
They stayed away from me. You know what the message I got was? Go to your fucking children. Like, they don't understand. Like, why would you? What could keep you from your children?
Why are you out here? You should be back with your family. Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly the message I got from them for years. And I'm out there like, help me, teachers, and please give me some guidance. And like, you're toxic, man. Like, go to your children. Like, if someone took my children, I'd go to them immediately.
Right.
So, and even brings them to be more fearful of our society. Who would dare take away your children? Because we can see, Todd, that you love them and adore them and treasure them. We can see that you're a really good dad in the right kind of ways. What kind of an evil society would take away children like that? And the answer is that's our justice system, you know. And most dads don't win. I was a lucky one because I'm in the right place, right time. I have the money, I had the time to spend hundreds of hours in court to buy expensive lawyers. You know, most dads can't do that stuff. They have to work, and that fucking disgusts me. In the United States, 90% of people that are incarcerated are from fatherless homes. You think something's going on there, kind of?
Yeah.
You know?
It's a cash cow, right?
The stats are through the roof. Dads are important, man. Masculinity is very important. It's very natural. If you don't love and kiss your little girl, you don't give her that masculine affection, she's gonna go get it somewhere else, right? So
yep.
that instinct that you have to love and nurture it's nature. It has to be there. You better do it, because man, I feel it, you know, and as a father, it's very natural for me to want to cuddle my daughter and hold her close and love her. And you know, all the stats.
It's all about the security. I mean, children want to know that they're loved, and they want to know that they're safe.
I held my daughter skin to skin when she was born. I put her right on my chest, and the doctors are now encouraging that. Like they get their body heat and their heartbeat starts and their lungs open up more when they're on, and not just on somebody. It should be on the parent, because the children can feel that energy. And now we're talking about birth telepathy. So, and I've had the most spiritual things happen. You know, when my son was born, they wanted to take him into a different room, and I couldn't get away from him. I felt my heart pulling out of my chest. One of my first real deep spiritual experiences was my connectivity to this little tiny nothing that I was just bonded to in a deep, and I could feel my heart exactly where it was in my chest, and I felt it pulling towards my son. And that's why I say my son was one of my greatest teachers, but that did transfer over into the Sasquatch and this research and understanding the integrity of it, and learning to love a child soulfully connected to them the way all the Sasquatch do, to be in a family that's connected and loved and adored and treasured like that, the way the Sasquatch have that family. And now you can start to understand why they won't even tolerate being around most humans, because that could damage their precious family. We're literally toxic in a certain way where they won't trust us to be around their children, and by extension they won't be around us because they got to set an example. So really, at the end of the day, when you're from, I know a lot of people out there going, well, Sasquatch don't even exist, is all bullshit. But at the end of the day, I'm from the perspective that this is why we don't know they're there. And the answers are so obvious. It adds up to making this species more real, because they can't be stupid. They can't be dumb. They'd be making mistakes. They can't let their dead lie out there. They've been putting their dead away for hundreds of thousands of years in a holy place.
Right.
Before we ever, and this is a fact, we actually know Gigantopithecus did this. 200,000 years ago, they're evolved from Gigantopithecus. They were putting their dead up in caves. Well, but Giganto can't do that because humans didn't do that till 20,000 years ago. This species can't be more advanced than us, but they are, and they have been, and they still are. We are the masters of civilization and domestication. I don't know how good that is. I don't think it's very good at all. And they are literally the masters of the wilderness. So I can literally show you how they've been teaching the Native Americans their spirituality, their beautiful connectivity to nature. The Sasquatch are the shaman that have been teaching that. The term Sasquatch, properly translated, is wild master. So master of the wilderness. That's what the natives called them. Oma, these incredible, Winchester-Tunga means tall teacher. The natives called these beings teachers. So, you know, it's all the evidence to me just shows a magnificent species that we're not ready yet for. But I think the time is here. And I think that's why I'm here. I think that's what my job is to create that continuity, because they are communicating with us. And I am out talking to big, important people. And this discovery is, for God's sake, we need it so bad. I'm
so sorry, Todd, did not mean to interrupt you. Please continue.
No, that was the end. We just need this discovery so badly.
I want to definitely put a couple of different plugs as we're going through our talking. Where can people get in contact with you, or do you have a website, some social media outlets that if people want to watch, follow along, or if they want to be involved in one of your expeditions out in the wild?
Yeah.
How does
Discoveringbigfoot.org is my website. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. And really, though, the way you get a hold of me is do something, create some action, and then manifest it. So I find people by even Kevin. I don't even know how I found Kevin. So I've manifested this. I've been a Don Frye, Dan Severn fan for since you guys were first. I've been watching the UFC since the inception. Like I wanted the whole UFC fighting thing to happen. I have a big warrior spirit inside of me, and yeah, I always admired you guys. And
Thank you.
So and just I'd like to say great respect for the major changes you guys have made. Because you made major changes. Fighting is part of our history. We're warriors. I'm here because somebody 10,000 years ago knocked somebody else over the head and beat his ass and then bred, and then that's why I'm here. And I feel that, and I feel like what you guys did, the way you built the UFC up and created that transparency and that truth about fighting and the fighting spirit. I think it's really, I know it's helped people. It's helped it helped me so much. Just find my way and not want to push down that warrior spirit that is the people do call toxic masculinity, and I call it the protector and my protective instinct to keep my family and my community safe. That warrior spirit that's very healthy to have. It's not toxic masculinity.
Oh, okay, that's where Don actually came up with the name toxic masculinity. When you look at politically speaking right now inside the United States, what is the very worst thing to be? That would be like an older white man that actually has a job that still identifies as being white. And I think, did Don or I have any slaves? No. Did our parents have any slaves? No. Did our grandparents have any slaves? I mean, it just goes when you have people talking about white, black, brown. I mean, it's to me, I always tell people the only thing that Dan Severn and Don Frye hates is stupidity, and there's way too many stupid people in our world. That should be gone. Bye. I wish I could talk to Sasquatch to say this person needs to go, that person needs to go, and the world would be a better place. See, Quinn understands Don Frye. That's his dog's name that's on his lap right there. Quinn, that's the biggest love in Don's life.
The love of my life, yes.
She's very handsome.
No, it's a she. She's the brains. She's the brains and the beauty of the operation here, man. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I needed a minute to look at her before I could see she's a she. She's pretty beastly. That's what breed is she?
English bulldog.
English bulldog.
Yeah.
You ever see the way that Don plays with when he gets that rope and he picks her right up and then he starts swinging her around in a circle and stuff like that. She just chomps right on down. She loves it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Averati, I'd call her right now, but then she would smash over everything and knock everything over the place. So we'll just leave her sit in the corner over there. She's nice and happy. But that's another thing too, is communicating with your intelligent. That's not just, we say animal, and often people say it with a disrespect. Right. That's a living being that has thoughts and feelings, and you can communicate with her.
Right.
I do it with my dog all the time, and that's really a good way to practice, because your beautiful dog has less paradigms and is more open to that telepathic communication. And what you can do with her, you can start doing with other people close in your life. So you have a daughter, right, Don?
I have two. Yes, sir. Two
daughters. Okay. And no son?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay.
Now, animals are very raw in their emotions and stuff like that. You can see the emotions on animals' face. They're truthful. That's what you like about animals. So even kids. I mean, little children. Yeah. They're very truthful and stuff like that. They're happy. They're sad, loving, or whatever. I mean, they're very, very truthful. They have to learn things from adults. I hate to say it, but they have to learn the traits they learn about being deceitful or lying or things of nature. It's stuff that they have to learn from adults.
Absolutely.
That's
it. And it's very it's very important that we unlearn that stuff as adults, and because it just sneaks up on you so fast, dumbs you down and just messes you up. And I feel like the Sasquatch are the ultimate expressions of that. It's like they age. This is just how I feel, but they age keeping that innocence, but adding the wisdom to it. And we seem to be aging with, more paradigms and more ridiculous things pulling us down and domesticating us, and less with the wisdom, as much as we try, and
Well, that's an interesting question too. How old are they?
Yeah,
Are they a lot like us as far as age? As far as aging.
or do they live longer? Or
no, I wouldn't think so. Just because it's nature, they have hard winters. Their teeth will rot. They don't brush their teeth. When your teeth get rotten and you get infection, you die. So there's really in nature, there's no sympathy for weakness at all. And old age, I mean, where I live, it's -40 for 2 months. It gets damn cold out here. If you're not tough, like really, really tough, like my native teacher, he lived a long age, but like you could see it in his face, like he was weathered and he had huge wrinkles, and it's nature kicks your ass. So
what do you estimate the time, the longevity of a good life for a Sasquatch?
I would think 55 to 60 years maximum. Like your teeth are just
Okay.
gonna rot right out, right?
yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as you said teeth, the dental industry, when that happened inside the United States at first, that's one of the biggest things that helped to have people live longer. Because as you said, as your teeth start to rot out, stuff like that, when it kind of like toxin like this, if you start to consume anything like that, it goes right in your bloodstream, right to your brain, boom, and you're gone.
Yeah.
So
I went and shot a huge bear last year that wouldn't leave this particular field on this Indian reserve. He was huge. And then we shot him. We looked at his teeth. His teeth were gone. They were all worn down and nothing. He couldn't leave there because that's the only food he could chew and eat. Right. So
Interesting.
yeah, dentition really, and when you have no teeth, you can't gum it and be a Sasquatch. So I hear lots of weird things, people saying like they have 100 years, 120. I could be wrong, but I can't see it because nature just isn't built that way.
yeah,
It
nature
recycles
and the hard winters, like you said there, that
Yeah.
just
even just a hard life too, like I don't think even in the hotter places, you go to the southern United States, the heat kicks your ass, extended heat like that. So but just nature is tough. Nature is unsympathetic, and we've really lost that, and I hope people can understand there's just like how tough beings that are surviving nature are. There's just zero fucking sympathy. That it's the problem with, again, going back to this, they're saying we're toxic and they're saying this is all unhealthy. No, we're just trying to be tough. We're trying to keep that history of what made us great was that toughness. It's going the way of nothing because everybody gets a ribbon. Like, why even train? What the fuck is the point? You always win. What's the point of eating? What's the point of sleeping well? Who gives a shit? Just fucking show up and you win. That's the end of that's domestication at its finest, and we should be afraid of domestication syndrome because it's terrifying. It creates stupidity, it creates ignorance, toxicity. I mean, it's
laziness,
evil.
yeah, laziness.
Oh my God, where's the ambition? Like I hear you talking, Dan, about your book and you're doing this and doing that. Don, there's no way you weren't ambitious as fuck, taking your pills to get back in that ring. And that's the scariest thing I see is people just have no ambition. They just want free money and get the government, and
they don't set goals for themselves. They don't try to do any better, because why should I do any better? Again, that's all part of what I call socialism. And that, I mean, it's
it's empty. It's empty.
Yeah.
What's the point? What do you wake up for?
Exactly. Yeah. What's the point? What is the point?
And you got to think, this is what I've learned with Sasquatch research, is they are literally the exact fucking opposite of everything we are. To go out there and to have success with them, they might be a similar species, but when you like to walk on the trails, they hate the trails. They want to be in the dense bush, to be covered and surrounded by wilderness. They don't want to be exposed. When you think something and it's black, I guarantee you they're thinking white, because they're just so absolutely the opposite of us in so many ways. And that's the brilliance of it. That's the enrichment to this species, is to create more open thinking and just get back to nature. People, like, holy shit, go on a hike, get out. Even there's so much you can do to connect. Go sit by a tree and smell its sap and the leaves, and just get back out into nature. Like I do rituals with people. I do earth rituals and water rituals. People have like out-of-body experiences. And all I did was a simple water ritual where I connected them to the life's blood of that earth in that spot. Takes 15 minutes. And literally, these guys are just like, I can't believe I just connected to nature like that. Same thing with the earth experience, where I connect them to the earth in a deep, soulful way. And they just, I could see their eyes, they change.
Is this
Like
something you learned?
so much
Is
more
this something
aware.
that you learned from the local natives?
The Cree, my
the
Cree
Cree?
teacher taught me that. But you know what? He'll tell you the Sasquatch taught them that. And I'm seeing so much evidence of that. Like literally the way they hunt and move, the Sasquatch do that better. And it's like, who taught who here? Who is the one, passing this wisdom on? And I can go into it so much more. Like it's really, I'll tell you though, it's vividly clear to me that the Sasquatch are the ultimate shaman and connective spiritually beings in nature. And that's the first thing I teach people on expedition is an old native story that goes short like this. A long time ago, the Great Spirit came to man and Sasquatch, and he said, here's fire. You can take this fire and it'll keep you warm, it'll cook your food, it'll keep you safe, but it represents technology and it'll separate you from nature. And once you accept this fire, once you go down this road of technology, you can never come back. And all the Sasquatch know this story. So they know if they ever pick up an axe, if they ever start a fire, if they ever, keep something as a possession, they're going down that road of technology. And they look at us and go, we don't want to end up like that, because they love being a Sasquatch. They love nature. They love being free, like freedom to the heart and soul of them spiritually. And I literally dropped an axe once on a Sasquatch trail and they went around it like 15 yards. They were like, keep that goddamn thing away from me. Not only did they not pick it up, they feared it. They built a new trail around it. And I'm thinking, oh my God, these guys are they get it. Like they know it and they understand it. And literally, I could never go. I could take Survivor Man. He can't survive in the wilderness. If I put Survivor Man out in the bush and naked, they say, don't use technology, he's dead in 2 months. He's the best in the world. I take a Sasquatch, do the same thing, come back in 5 years, he's fat. He's got his big feet up, chilling out. I love nature, right? Who's the tougher, better, stronger species?
Oh,
Even,
sure.
let me tell you this one last thing. This is so cool. We found this in the DNA. So let's say this is orangutans in the DNA, gorillas, chimpanzees, and humans are here. And we always thought that the Sasquatch were here. You know what? They're over here. They are literally a more advanced hominid than we are. And it shouldn't even surprise you. Because what I've told you, based on all my research and studying, is they're bigger, stronger, faster, smarter. They're literally a more advanced, better evolved hominid. And I should have proved that to you just by telling you that the amazing Les Stroud Survivor Man could never survive like these individuals. So, it doesn't just work with survival. It works with spirituality, it works with connectivity, in overall happiness and freedom. They're the ultimate teachers. And that's why I'm so passionate about this discovery.
Well, let me jump in and just ask Kevin a quick question. Kevin, you said that you actually have an excursion date set up right now with Todd.
Well, yeah. Todd, I definitely want to seize the day for that expedition in September. So
Yep.
I'll follow through with that, and again, if I can help you on your back end in any way you think I can. But there are some topics here that we discussed with this the health and wellness on the EEG side that I'm fascinated by now. So we'll get into that discussion for sure.
And again, after this happens, we definitely would like to have Todd, you, and Kevin back on after this expedition, and just so we can talk about what Kevin saw on this expedition, and just kind of take it from there. But definitely, I'm not here to cut you off to Todd whatsoever. If there's more things you want to talk about, but I know pushing your website again, it was discoverybigfoot.org. Is that what you said? Right. Discoverybigfoot.org.
Yeah.
Then you can learn a whole lot more. And is there information about these different tours?
There's an expedition page that I mean, it's tough to get on expedition with me because I have 20 people that come back every year. More than that, I can only take maybe 30 people out a year. I always take some new people, but even just watching the movie, there's nothing special about me. Watch my movie, stand on my shoulders, and go make the discovery happen for yourself. Watch my YouTube videos. There's just nothing special about me. Anybody, they're tougher, smarter people than me out there. Be one of them and go make the discovery yourself.
For people that
care about it.
For people that want to check out some of your videos, YouTube, but would it be underneath Todd Standing, or would it be underneath Discovery Todd Standing, Discovering Bigfoot, or how?
Just Todd Standing. I do live shows all Wednesdays except when I'm on expedition. So it's not hard. Yeah, just keep looking for Todd Standing, and I tell you too, it's if it's important, manifest it, work for it, create the action. But I tell you, so many people like, I can't believe I got a hold. It's just something happens where I'll sit down, I'll hit the computer. For some reason, I'll do something preposterous and check my Instagram or Facebook or look at some email that's special to me, and boom, there's Survivor Man. Boom, there was Jeff Meldrum. So I move forward like the universe is guiding me on this discovery, and things keep falling into place for me. And it's not a coincidence. I create absolute impossible miracles all the time. That's because I'm guided. Like there's just, I don't know, would you call it God or the universal connection, but something is guiding me because we need this discovery. It's so important. What's happened with COVID and the wool that's being pulled over our eyes. There's too many. There are a lot of people that are called toxic out there who are not.
Big time.
And there's a lot of good people out there that really are helping me manifest this just by creating that belief. Just believe in a greater. Don't let it get you down, because this is not going to be the future. Darwinism is going to happen one way or another. The survival of fittest is going to happen one way or another. Sure. And in this day and age, fit is about integrity and honest and love and passion and ambition to go make shit happen. Because the people that have ambition to make stuff happen are the ones that started the UFC, that won the heavyweight championship of the world and created change, right? So it's you guys' responsibility too to do shows like this and to put your good energy out there. I don't even it's not toxic. It's just it's old school, and we could use a lot of old school. We need to get some of that old school.
You call it old school, or we just simply call it common sense. But common sense is not very common sense isn't very common anymore.
That's abuse.
That's true.
What do you mean you're common sense and I'm not? You abusive.
Yeah, no, been a real pleasure here, Todd. Thanks. Todd, any more last minute questions? Or
thank you very much. It was very informative, man. Learned a lot. Thank you.
Definitely want to have you back again, especially as Kevin takes off on this expedition there as well, and to find out what happened on that excursion, and to see if you actually interact and see, and love to again. The date that Kevin already gave me the dates out there, but I already have those books right now. But I would like to do one of these down the road there with you, because I enjoy being out with Mother Nature. It's even as I'm talking to you right now, I'm actually at my training facility property here in Coldwater, Michigan, and I have all these woods in that back there, and I have a little campfire type area that I'm always like to sit out to. And usually when we're back in the normal days, every Sunday night around 7:00, I would have a campfire out there that I never had to tell my guys. I told just once about it, that every Sunday, as long as I'm in town, there'll be a campfire out there to where, come on out, just sit around. Just a bunch of men sitting around, whether you talk.
With 50 pounds of marshmallows.
Yeah. and I've roasted a few marshmallows there as well. So yes, I have. I'm not ashamed to say that kind of stuff there either. So just men hang around with men, and I think there's just not enough of that male bonding taking place anymore. So.
Well, I appreciate too, you guys. I've been thinking a lot about the Joe Rogan stuff, and I trust you guys. So if you say Joe Rogan's a good guy,
he's a good guy.
Then that's enough said. So I was a big fan of his for a long time, And then, there's controversy, and I don't know what's bullshit and what's real, even to do with me. I see people just completely fucking lying about the stuff that I'm saying. So everything gets turned around so much. And, but Don Frye and Dan Severn know, and if they say he's good, then that's good enough for me. I am a huge fan of you guys, and I'm gonna meet both you guys one day. I'll be happy to shake your hands. Definitely gonna happen. It's a thing. I don't have a bucket list, but this is just something I need to do one day. I need to shake the hand of the old school UFC champions, and I really admire what you guys have done, and much respect for. I kind of see where you guys have been in the shit and the all the stuff that you guys went through, and I'm very grateful for you know it's not a small change you guys have made. It's not a small change. It's a big deal. The stuff that's happened because of what you did in fighting. It's no small deal,
Thank you.
And I'm very grateful for what you've done. So you put your asses on the line and walked into those cages, and yeah, nothing but admiration for me. People ask me that a lot, like, how do you push forward? How do you, it's no different than walking to the cage, in my opinion. It's been a big inspiration to me my whole life. What made you keep doing that? Why didn't you quit? Because this is what I had to do. This is my job. This is my place. And it's, if I'm not going to do this, then I need to get a new fucking profession, because I have failed and I have quit inappropriately, but I got back up and I brushed myself off, and I didn't quit the second time. I learned from my mistakes and I grew from them.
I can say that's just human nature. I mean, we're all going to have roadblocks, or have to do some few turns and hit a few dead ends. It's kind of like, how do you react to that adversity? How do you pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and then go, is that the best you got? Let's go some more,
Because I can do better. And I am getting older and wiser, smarter and growing. So, and with age comes wisdom, and I just, I've had fun doing the show. I have good energy, better than normal, because I'm talking to two guys that are no bullshit. Are you kidding me? Dan Severn, Don Frye, come on. The Beast, the Predator,
Exactly.
come on.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Todd, I'll be in touch. Thank you very much, Don and Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Kevin, thank you very much. Definitely want to have you on. We'll be talking about different aspects of CBD oils and a lot of other things that will help health, and just keeping people healthy and around longer with their life.
Exactly.
It's important.
Thank you, Kevin, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Todd, last big push there for Todd Standing for his website, discoveringbigfoot.org. Definitely check that out, or check out his YouTube underneath Todd Standing, and just simply, I guess, type in some things that deal with Bigfoot, or YouTube Todd Standing, and you should see a lot of his videos there as well. So this is Don and Dan, Toxic Masculinity, signing off.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.